future has arrived. The all-new Trans Am for 1978. Complete with a plush, sporty interior for a comfortable ride. A 6.6-liter, 400-cubic-inch engine for plenty of power when you need it the most.
Oh, I've been running from the law.
Radio-tuned suspension for better handling and outstanding road performance.
When the sunrise, when the
See your local dealer today and ask for a test drive in the all-new Trans Am. Yes, the Phoenix has risen.
Mustang. And somewhere around midnight, I knocked the front spoiler off of it, and I remember being down underneath it, getting it all back. So then I got it all back together, I got it back, everything worked out. And then Linda was driving it down some dirt road, and the spoiler fell off. So she got blamed for it, but I think it was probably from me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Which one?
Dad's gold one.
That was his first one?
Yeah, it's the one that, that is the car that started the Trans Am fever for this family.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's not very many pictures of my dad's gold Trans Am, but there is some 8mm footage. Dad pulls up in this gold Trans Am. We had no idea that he had bought the car. He didn't tell us he was going to go look for it, and he just shows up with it one day. 1978 gold Trans Am, and it was, you know, it was an instant love affair. I remember Dad doing a little work on the car.
And I jumped on it, and it went so sideways.
Oh yeah, it
I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, all I could see was the ditch.
Yeah, he did an intake. He did rejig the carb, did a curb kit, and he did headers. It was fast. Had a ton of low end.
It was so torquey.
That car was just quick. Well, I remember driving it and the stuff coming out of the console. So every time you drove it, you had to put stuff back in. You know,
right.
the
Stuff
lighter
would be all over
under the
the
seat.
Back in probably 79 or 80. I was out in the front yard just filming, you know, random stuff, and he happens to be coming home and driving down the driveway. And I catch him on the street, stopping at the mailbox, and then pulling down the driveway. And that actually is probably the most precious footage that I have of my dad. And the car that started it all for us.
Taken the original color and we've added a larger metallic to it. It is so rich. It's kind of a
Coppery.
Yeah, a little more coppery, but we're using the original color on the wheels. So we're going to powder coat the wheels original color. So that the color DNA stays in the new car throughout the entire theme.
I love this gold.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when it gets outside, you're going to see a whole different.
Yes, for sure.
Dance.
It's gonna pop. It'll dance in the sunlight.
Especially with the red trim. It looks amazing. Dude, this really looks good.
Doesn't it?
Looks awesome. For a modern gold, this is it.
Check this out. This piece right here, this is the interior door, you know, where they've done the carbon.
Love the ribbon.
They've actually floated the bird on top of it.
It looks 3D in there. That
Yeah.
looks really cool.
And this is gonna have a red trim around it, so if you can see what it would look like against the red. So all that was made right here. The Crash made the carbon fiber. Steve did an amazing job of doing the template. And this hadn't even been buffed, cut, or anything. So this
He laid
this
it
is-
down flat. Looks good.
Yeah, he did. Did a
Yeah.
nice job.
It's
gonna pop.
It's gonna be a showstopper.
Yeah.
You know what, you think about it, how crazy it is that of all the cars that we've built, this is the first time we've ever done a gold car. you know, who knows, this car might start a whole new series. You think about the success the Hearst edition had, the Bandit edition had, the Super Duty editions, all of them sold out.
The 77, back in the 5th Gen series, and the Hearst edition GTO, which were signed by Nate Shelton, chairman of Hearst. When you can say that, hey, there's only 50 of these that exist, or only 77 that exist in the world, and maybe a lot of those have shipped overseas, so how many are left here in America? The smallest edition we've ever done is 7. In that case, they sold before we finished, and a lot of times they do. It's paid off because on the secondary market, most of the cars are selling for more than what the customers paid for them. I can't guarantee that every time, but I can say so far that's been the track record, and that's exciting for us to see that people appreciate the product that we're putting out. This car will be unveiled at SEMA.
So roughly, we've got 6 weeks. Right now we're in T-top rough end. The guys have to finish that so the car can go into mechanical by this weekend. So Josh can install the suspension, the motor, the transmission.
We're excited to partner with Magnuson on this build. We're using the Magnuson 2650 supercharger, which is brand new on the market today. And we'll be the first ones to really test it out on a big cubic inch engine. Josh and Mike were the two that were really excited about experimenting with this blower. They had used it in previous applications during the development of the unit with Magnuson and found that it performed extremely efficient. It gave cool ITs, allowed them to add more timing, which when they do that, they can add more fuel and it creates more power.
Started at 150 degree ITs, dropped 11 degrees to the fall. Ended the fall at 140.
And the other thing I think I have to change is I can't do an automatic. I've got to do a manual.
Yeah.
Running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down
I'll drop some pressure out, we'll get another hold down strap, but yeah, that thing's heading to the moon, you know what I mean?
So yeah, less than desirable setup here today. Trying to get in, depot's in the middle of reorganizing, so there's a lot of stuff in our way, challenges, and knowing that, I instructed the guys to put takeoff parts on the car so we wouldn't run the risk of scratch and fresh paint. We've made 3 runs so far. Josh is in the middle of changing out a pulley. We've gotten over 1,000 pound-feet of torque, and I think we can squeeze a little bit more out of it, so we'll see. It's a good day so far.
strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about.
That was to the wheel.
That's a little bit of power.
I can live with that.
Yeah. You liked it, Dad. Thank you.
Very few photos of the original Gold Trans Am my dad owned. One of them has a shot of a motorcycle that I owned.
There's my Formula, there's your Trans Am, and that is your motorcycle you used to drive, that Yamaha.
Yeah. This black motorcycle that I bought when I was in college to go back and forth to school to keep from putting miles on my Trans Am. I traded a drum set for it.
my God.
I washed the bike, polished it.
I remember you used to ride that with your flip-flops and your dolphin shorts on and a t-shirt with no helmet.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So Scott and I grew up on my grandfather's dairy farm. Back in the early 70s, my grandfather switched from herding the cattle with horses to motorcycles. All the family that lived on the farm got a motorcycle. So there was about 10 of us. At the peak, we was milking over 1,100 cows a day. Took a lot to bring them in. Could wear a horse out pretty good galloping through the field, so the motorcycle just made for a natural transition to get these cows up a lot faster. I don't know how many days I would pull out on my way to school the same time Dad's pulling out in his Gold Trans Am, and I'm traveling down the road, you know, behind him. I thought, you know, I think it'd be pretty cool to build a modern motorcycle to go with the modern Trans Am. It reminded me of what OCC did when they built the 3 bikes for us.
Oh yeah.
Like, what has that been,
that
8, 9 years ago now?
Man, they really look good together.
You know what I really like?
that I've seen lately is the Indians. The Indians
are cool. And there's kind of a theme there with the Indian and the Pontiac.
The Pontiac was the Indian.
You know, when we were filming this very video just days ago, and Scott realized that the Indian bike was a direct tie-in to the Pontiac Indian and the logo and heritage that comes with the brand. Pontiac is actually named after an Indian chief who has a very distinctive mark in American history. I went to Red Hills, which is our local dealer, told him what I wanted to do, so turn it into a Trans Am bike. Everything from refacing the gauge to all the small components that would traditionally have the bike branding now have Trans Am on it. We met with Jason there, and he loved the idea.
Our dual overhead cam liquid cooled engine, basically built around the performance that we love.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorites because it's got the most modern architecture as we go. Here's a before picture of your bike, obviously, the original Scout Bobber, the second version of the Scout from Indian.
These are some good looking bikes right here now.
Very much so.
This shape of this is very similar to the inner door panel. And
Actually,
so what I'm thinking about doing is basically duplicating what we're doing on the inner door panel with our bird, right?
I like it.
The hood is a carbon fiber hood that we're gonna keep parts of the carbon exposed in the bird.
It's the same shape as we've done before, but we've never done this.
But not the whole thing.
No, just the black, probably just the black, the center portion of the bird.
Okay.
Do you remember the Bandit that had the red accents?
Yeah.
So we were thinking, what if we did some of those red accents along with the gold car?
Put a stencil over the carbon, we sprayed the entire car gold, then we peeled it off. Now we have to perfectly locate our additional stencils, exact perfect location to put the additional colors on. And it's just very stressful. You only get one shot and get it right.
On the deck lid, in the letters, exposed carbon fiber.
Yeah, like the Trans Am in the back would be, the letter would be exposed carbon outlined by the accent color. So you have black and red to play off of on the gold.
But it's painted on carbon, not real carbon.
No, it's
oh, so you're painting around everything, you're leaving the carbon.
It's carbon,
wow.
We're just painting it, yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So you're leaving that, that's really cool.
Carbon.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys, you thought this out pretty good.
Even the wheel, we're doing carbon.
It's extraordinarily special for me to be designing a car that's a tribute to my father and actually do it in collaboration with my son. So you have 3 generations now that are contributing to the design and outcome of this car.
You can either trim around the outside edge, spray black first, but since we're spraying red first, let's do that. And then when we spray the black, we'll have our nice little trim, and the trim will be half the width of that. That looks good.
In all candor, I think this particular car is going to offer more in the terms of performance, creativity, design, and first time evers than any other car we've built.
What we're starting with is a 4-point mount on the frame itself. The rest of the fender is built off of that, gusseted and fabricated from there.
They took a brand new bike before it had ever been driven or cranked and stripped it down.
Challenge that we're working with right now is to be able to support a rear seat structure, taking a Scout fender into the Bobber world and trying to keep our clearances very Bobber-esque and very tight to the tire, and to attain our suspension travel and get it looking good all at once. So those are our 3 big challenges.
I needed something that my wife could ride with me, so I needed a removable passenger seat, and they didn't have anything like that on the market.
Work out how to integrate a second seat
Right.
when needed.
And get the fender drop.
Drop the fender, yeah. I'd really like to see it as close to the tires as we can get it.
Initially, I got Kenny involved, who's one of our fabricators.
You can't mount it to the fender because it bounces. You know, it's on the suspension. So, you know, you could easily come up with a bracket, kind of like a luggage tray for a Harley, the way they slip in and then attach, and then you can float.
Can you do that with cutting the fender this high, cutting it on the
Oh
heart?
yeah, for sure. We'll just, where they have this bracket, you can see the welds, there's a bracket up in here that gives it its structure and its brace. So we'll just pop that out, and when we cut it at 12, then you've only got so much of the radius to be looking at. All you'll be looking at is this right here.
Gotcha.
You see?
Kenny is working on the gold car. Plan is to have the bike presented at SEMA beside the car, which puts us about 20 days from now that the car has to leave to be there on time. And I quickly came to the realization that there's no way he's going to pull off both. I brought in a master bike fabricator who was previously with West Coast Choppers. I actually called him 3 days ago, out of the blue. I never talked to the man in my life. And I said, I know this is a long shot. You don't know me, I don't know you. This is a Hail Mary here, but I need to put a bike together with a secondary seat. It all needs to be fabricated. And all I have at this point is a raw fender and some pieces of steel. And he said, send me pictures. I texted him some pictures, and then he called me back and he says, I can do it. I said, I'll fly you in the morning. Can you get on a plane at 6 a.m.?
On the disconnect, we're gonna run 2 bullet-type pins through the frame and a hidden latch on the inside. So you can just reach under on the driver's side, pull the latch. This will lift out of here, and then you can put a beauty plate, a block plate or a beauty plate in there. And then when you have your seat on here, what you're gonna find is that beauty plate will fit perfectly underneath your seat, so it'll take in all that space. And it'll be kind of like a rest for the seat, even though it doesn't need it, because I mean, this seat's tight.
Right.
But it'll fit right up underneath there, so it makes like it's perfectly fit for it, which it will be. We'll use 4130 chromoly, so it's strong.
Okay.
So we know that this is not gonna have a problem.
Right.
We're gonna mount this right on the swing arm so it stays with the swing arm at all times, so there's never any fluctuation of distance between the tire and that.
Guys, he's really good, really crafted. And we've got the tools and the equipment here that he needed to actually be able to pull it off.
Which a lot of people aren't doing. It's either they got those mounts on the fenders that you screw down this little square pad for somebody, and
which is mounted to the frame at that point.
This is mounted to the frame instead of the swing arm, but now we've got this whole swing arm system that it's going to float. So
have you ever done one like this before?
Something similar, but not with a removable seat. With a removable seat, that's kind of a new thing, but it's something that's, you look at it and you go, it's got to be done.
Right.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
The belt guard and the fender now are floating together. You know, and I think that once this fender's mounted and everything, then basically this whole frame system is ready to be finished up.
Well, I think I'm gonna go with the smoke windows like he did in this one.
Yeah.
And then put smoke T-tops.
Yeah.
These Recaro seats are the ones that I've chosen. I'll have the option of going with the 4-point harness or just using the OEM seatbelt retractors. Well, I can go either way.
One of the things that I really like that Josh has done on this car is he's relocated the coil packs. They've really disappeared, and now you've got clear view of the valve covers, which really give that old school vibe to the engine compartment. It's that throwback that we're looking for, and he's just done an extraordinarily good job of cleaning up that engine bay and making it look really old school. You know, this one is the total package for sure. And my dad's favorite number was 7, and as it just turned out, this car is number 7 in the edition of 50 that we built in collaboration with Joey Arrington for the Super Duty model.
Yeah, it's amazing how far these cars have come.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning, that it was 10 years ago that Kevin Morgan and I were in the barn trying to fashion a rear spoiler out of cardboard tape and putty to make it look like his rendering. And we have evolved from that to this. Yeah, 3-dimensional CAD drawings that are engineered in-house.
So what do you think Pawpaw would think about this?
Oh, he would love it. He would absolutely, yeah. He would claim this car is his.
Right.
Yeah. And with the power, it's the total package. Dad been really proud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the ultimate tribute.
You can guarantee when you got my dad's car, there were 2 things that you were going to find. A little box of Tic Tacs and a 1611 King James Bible. That is the car that started the Trans Am fever for this family.
Absolutely, yeah.
It used to be a Camaro, I converted it into a Trans Am.
It's extraordinarily special for me to be designing a car that's a tribute to my father and actually do it in collaboration with my son.
It felt amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've never driven anything like that.
Well, me either, actually.
That bike turned out pretty amazing too, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have seen that when you were riding down the road. How do you top this?
Yeah. That's going to be hard to do. From a personal perspective, I would say.
The best way to say it is I'm just really proud to be part of it. I mean, this is a class act here. What more could you ask for? We've got some things we're working on. We'll raise the bar. We'll top it somehow. Those last 10 years of just, they're gone. You know?
Yeah.
That's something you'll learn as you get older, how quick it goes. So you enjoy it. Now it's time to enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it by letting me drive it.
Yeah, I thought that was coming. No, I don't think so. I think, as a matter of fact, you need to move your car out of the garage because this one's going in.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.